live look at the White House, where in just a couple of hours, President Joe Biden will address the nation, and many wonder what he will focus on. Now, the last 3 years have brought skyrocketing inflation, eye-popping gas prices, and food prices that have put a strain on family budgets. Right now at 5, NBC Montana brings you special team coverage here at home and from Washington, D.C. Christine Frizzell reports on why Americans seem to trust former President Donald Trump over Biden on the economy and other issues. But first, NBC Montana's Bowen West reached out to Montana U.S. Senators Steve Daines and Jon Tester to get their thoughts on the State of the Union.
President Joe Biden is taking the world stage tonight. Montana's senators had some thoughts.
I've seen some say this is a pivotal moment for Biden. And I mean, do you have confidence in him?
Well, you know what? The voters will make that decision, and we'll see how it goes tonight. I think it has potential to be a really ripping speech, but we'll see.
Tester will be accompanied by Fred Hamilton, a veteran from Columbia Falls, as his guest to the State of the Union address. This is to highlight the veteran community in the country and to remember their needs. One thing Tester hopes the president touches on in his speech. Tester also wants Biden to address the crisis at the border, rising inflation costs, and what's needed to secure Americans' freedom.
There's going to be plenty to talk about tonight. It's going to be a speech. Typically, they're about an hour long. There'll be a lot of standing up and sitting down. But in the end, we look forward to hearing the president's remarks.
In a press conference with fellow Senate GOP leadership, Senator Steve Daines said Americans are already aware that the State of the Union is in chaos.
Because under Joe Biden's failed leadership, the State of the Union right now is chaos, as is the state of the world.
Make sure to continue to follow NBC Montana for your latest election 2024 coverage. Reporting in Missoula, Bowen West, NBC Montana.
Joe Biden started his presidency in the midst of a pandemic. With a struggling economy, the unemployment rate at 6.3%. Today, the latest numbers show it at 3.7%. As the inflation rate has dropped, wages have risen, with a boom in manufacturing. But while polls show people feeling better about the economy, they also show higher ratings for Donald Trump when he was president. 65% rating it good under Trump, with just 38% now, which Democrats have linked to poor messaging.
I can honestly say I've never been more optimistic about America's future.
But Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders criticized the notion that if Democrats can explain all the things they've accomplished, people will come on board, adding that ignores the pain ordinary people are now experiencing. Looking ahead, the president is touting some major laws passed in the last 3 years. The Inflation Reduction Act, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law.
America's economy is growing, inflation is slowing, and Democrats' agenda is delivering.
Plus, new plans to go after millionaires and big corporations who rob the economy of billions in tax dollars, new structures to make housing more affordable, and a plan to go after junk fees, currently tacked onto your stay at a resort, your food delivery, and your Taylor Swift tickets, plus a plan to bring credit card late fees down from $32 to just $8.
America is at a breaking point.
Speaker of the House Mike Johnson releasing this video.
Sticker shock is hitting millions of Americans hard.
The highest inflation rate, Mr. President, in 40 years. I got that.
As Republicans blame Biden and Bidenomics for economic woes, an attempt by the White House to turn the tide. We expect to hear these messages hammered home in the weeks to come as President Biden works to try to recover from several months of very low approval ratings. I'm Christine Frizzell in Washington.
And if you want to give us your thoughts on the address, keep an eye out for our poll question on our Facebook page. We'll post it online later tonight so you can leave a comment.